Well, we get a lot of questions, so I thought I'd kind of talk about my setup here on my Hoyt. Very simple setup. I'm one of those guys that's bare bones. I want to keep things simple, from whether you're going to Alaska or hunting deer in the southeast. I like things really simple. So if you look over my setup, this is actually a Carbon Defiant by Hoyt. This is the Bone Collector Edition. We offer that through Hoyt. It's all you got to do is talk to your dealer. You can look in the catalog when you pre-order them. Real simple setup. You notice, first thing, I don't shoot a wrist guard. I just have never seen something that necessary for me. It typically seems to get in my way. Even though I do shoot my bow and kind of let it roll away in my hand, I've just never seen it where I need it to catch my bow. So I don't shoot that. That's just one thing I can take off. I'm shooting this year, T-Bone and I, we actually bought these. This is very similar to QAD, but it's an HHA. We actually put these on our bow this year. It's a drop-away rest. I'm a big fan of the drop-aways. There's a lot of different ones on the market, and there's a lot of really good ones on the market. I got a simple D-loop. T-Bone is a proponent. He loves to put the dental floss on both sides. It just does a couple different things that help with that, and it's easy to change out. And what I attach to that D-loop is my old handy dandy trusty True Ball Beast released. I've had this thing since the beginning. This is actually the prototype, and you can see I got some easy reflective wraps around it. Mainly, not only can I find it when I lose it or drop it out of the stand at night, I can also, it kind of helps on keeping it kind of stay quiet. We just designed a brand new sight this year. Super excited about this particular sight. This is a Dead Ringer, the wheel sight, and what I like about it, I got 20 through 50 cock lock ready to rock, and then if I want to, I can make this last pin here a movable sight, crank it down all the way out to 100 yards. I got pretty good pinpoint accuracy on it if I'm able to make the shot. All my accessories, like my stabilizer, my quiver, are fused. I couldn't tell you how much this weighs. I just simply like a stabilizer, just something to give me a little weight that actually wants to pull my bow just a little bit grunt forward. That's just personally how I like the way it feels. Obviously these stabilizers do take out a little vibration, but because of these limbs and the way that the bow is designed and this carbon bow, it has very little resistance. A lot of people notice I used to shoot 3-inch fletch. This year, my buddy Michael Pitts, I decided to go with a little longer fletch, and this is about a 5-inch vein. Got a really cool, a lot of FOC up in this era, 75 grains of brass inserts, and last but not least, this particular head obviously is a T3 by G5. T-Bone just helped design a brand new broadhead called the Dead Meat. But you'll notice also in this particular quiver, I also have the trusty Havoc. Now what I like about these 100 grain heads, they both fly like field points, so we've got the best of both worlds. My dad's driving up and I got to make sure I don't have nothing on this bow that he might not have, because he'll be asking for it. So overall, a very simple setup. I do shoot with my quiver on, do a lot of elk hunting, and I like to quickly be able to reload, because sometimes that first arrow might miss the mark. I might not hit where I want to. If I can get another shot out in rapid fire, I like that opportunity. The last thing I'll share with you, this is a little handy dandy thing that I come across in elk camp. My buddy Richie Church and Blue actually designed. This is from Hunter's Technology. They're working on these patented pendant. A lot of the tactical hunters use these, but it's a sling that attached to your bow based on these little grommets or adapters that you can actually make a really nice bow sling. If you elk hunt a lot out west, it's a really cool deal, and you can obviously sling it over your shoulder. It's also, if you notice, this is a tactical sling that you can pick up that a lot of people use on the ARs, or a lot of the military use. A very inexpensive sling, and obviously there's so many different ways you can use this sling. You know, if you just want to set in glass, but you don't want your bow there, you can obviously set in glass, but you got your bow right there. It's easy to tote. Put it on your back and tote it up in a tree stand. There's just a lot of different options you can use with that. But in short, that's my setup. Now, one thing I didn't add in that I will is this particular bow, I'm kind of got a crazy messed up left shoulder, so I shoot a 28-inch draw. By my height, I'm about 6'2", so I should be shooting probably a 29, 30-inch draw, but my left arm's a little shorter than my right, so I shoot a 28 inch draw, which a lot of times it's hard to get good speeds with that. These Hoyts are known for good accuracy and decent speed, so I crank my bow up to right at 80 pounds. So these are 80-pound limbs, so I pull a good bit of amount of weight, and I only do that for my trajectory. I'm not trying to be He-Man. It's just I'm really comfortable at you know, shooting around at 300 feet per second, and so the way I can get that is by adjusting my draw weight. And so this particular bow, I typically keep it between 76 and 80 to 81 based on how fast the bow's shooting in my setup. So that's my simple setup. This setup I use whether I'm shooting turkeys, groundhogs, moose, elk, deer. I keep it the same. It's something I know I can shoot it in my sleep, and so that's what I trust on all my hunts, all big game hunts and small game hunts. That's my carbon defiant Hoyt setup.